Hello, everyone. Welcome to Three Essential Questions, New Mexico's premier business and nonprofit podcast. I don't know why I stumbled over that. I am your host, Pam Myers, and my wonderful co host is the always fabulous Erica Yoakum. And we are here today with Tammy Stanley. Tammy is a realtor with Berkshire Hathaway. And we're delighted to have you join us today, Tammy. Thanks for joining.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, all right, I got to ask. You're here. I'm sorry. I'm
Yes.
going to jump right in.
Yeah.
Real estate agent, realtor.
Oh.
Buy me a vowel, Vanna. What's the what? Because it's like not all. So it's kind of like chickens and roosters. All roosters are chickens, but not all chickens are roosters. So, right, all realtors are real estate agents, but not all real estate agents are realtors, correct?
That is kind of correct. We here in the state of New Mexico are called transaction brokers. We're not real estate agents because we don't have, no, actually it has less, we have less power if you want to think of it that way in a transaction because we don't speak for the buyer nor are we can't speak for them legally. Okay. So we're called transaction brokers. In New Mexico, in order to access the MLS, the master listing system, which is where the houses get listed, we have to be a member of NAR, the National Association of Realtors, and NAR trademarked realtor. The word realtor with the O at the end. Okay. So we in this state, not all states and not all MLSs are like this, but here we have to be a member of NAR, National Association of Realtors, to be a member of Santa Fe Association of Realtors or Greater Albuquerque or any of the other MLSs in the state. So we're forced to be a member. Therefore, we get to call ourselves a realtor.
Got it.
I do sometimes, but I also like to call myself just a real estate professional.
I've got it. Okay.
Because that allows you more, you can do more things in the field, or
it's probably just because I'm stubborn and know they own that trademark and they make me for it.
You being a rebel over here. She's a real estate rebel. That's what she is.
But the funny thing is I own so many domain names that have the realtor in them. So many that point to, so kind of like, I know it's hard for people like in Texas, they're called real estate agents because they actually in Texas do have agency. So when you're in a transaction in Texas, your realtor has agency, so they can do a deal and negotiate and actually accept or make an offer on your behalf. I cannot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I live with a conspiracy dude. But anyway, so I have 25 years of that in my ear, and so to me it would make more sense for me to make those decisions, not somebody to make them for me. But I could see both ways, but that's interesting. Okay, thank you for answering that. I have always wanted to ask that question. I've never remembered.
Thank you for asking it, because a lot of people don't even know to ask it. They don't understand.
What's the market out there right now like, Tammy?
Buyer market, seller market.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to say for a minute it was, with everything that's been going on in the last month, I would say everyone's just like waiting to see, right? But no matter what's going on with politics or the world, there will always be people who have to move, who are relocating, who people pass away, their houses have to sell, people get a new job. So I'm going to speak in terms of how it's been the last couple of weeks are busy for me. I can only speak for me. I have 7 listings and I have 6 active buyers, meaning 6 people who know what they're looking for. We're just looking for that right place. A lot of my buyers are out of town wanting to relocate. That's a big thing. And then last week, my phone, the last week in particular, because I do work with a lot of people, especially from Texas, who are wanting to relocate here to the land of enchantment as a blue state.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just saying, get the hell out of Dodge, but yeah.
So it's been, for me, it's very busy. I know also the facts are there's 43 or 4,400 realtors in Albuquerque.
Holy crap!
I
Really?
think,
Wow.
yes, I don't, it's close to that number. Something like 12 to 1,400 maybe in Santa Fe. It's very competitive, just real estate in general. I'm not even 2 years into having my license and learning a lot about the market and people and the different cities. So I'm busy and I'm grateful to be busy. I know not everybody is.
Yeah.
I would think it's very personality driven, meaning like I'm a lot. I know that about myself. I can be a lot. So I could see shopping around to find a realtor that you're comfortable with and who gets you as a person. It's going to be better than just saying, oh, this person's really good at buying and selling, but maybe they don't get who you are, what you really are looking for. For me, it seems it's a deeply personal thing, right? I mean, it's like selling your house is like inviting somebody into your underwear drawer, right? I mean, they're going to know quite literally because they're going to walk through your house and make all of these judgments of, what works, what needs to be done before you can sell it and all this kind of stuff. So you got to find somebody that you mesh with, or you're going to be standing there going, get Barbara out of here because I'm going to bitch slap her into tomorrow. Right?
Right.
You are, right? Because you're gonna, and then your hat will go up and like, make me paint the room.
Yeah.
Go ahead. And so it's gonna be, it's gonna be deeply personal to find somebody. So that's you gotta have people skills, I guess is what that was a long way of saying you gotta have good people skills to be able to mesh with your clients.
Yes. And you kind of, for me, when I came into this, I had all of a sudden working with buyers. So I all of a sudden, right as I got my license, so buyers, I didn't even have a listing for a while. Then I got land listings. Land listings are different, especially in New Mexico. Land tends to sit, it's somebody's going to buy it and has to build and that kind of thing, right? But in July, I actually listed my first house.
Congrats.
Okay, thank you so much. And you're right. You do have to deliver news that a lot of people don't want to hear, but I understand because when I'm on that side, when my wife and I left Texas and we listed our house, we were the worst. We were the absolute worst. We were like, but we've spent this much money on it. So to us, it's worth this. And it's like, well, no, it's really worth, so it took us a year to sell our house in Texas because we didn't listen. You actually have to find someone that will listen to you, but also that you'll listen to.
Yep.
And it is a very emotional thing.
I'm going to die in this house.
Okay. Are you really? Is that because you don't ever want to move again? Or
no, because there's no way. I'm picturing my husband listening to somebody like about real estate because we think our house. Look, we're down in Los Lunas, and Los Lunas is going through. We're going through a phase.
You're going through
a phase, and it's like
okay.
It's wild and crazy down here, right? Because Facebook came in, and then we've got huge solar farm. That's what took our power out for 2 days, Pam.
Oh
wow!
Yeah, they hooked us up to the grid, and then something over on the other side of the freeway went down and took out the solar farm, which took us out.
Oh wow!
Anyway, so there's all this stuff coming in, and Los Lunas is growing like crazy. So we're seeing. So we're seeing houses sell for like outrageous amounts of money right down the street from us. So we're like driving by going, I saw that house get built. So my husband is convinced, we could get $400,000 for our house. So if somebody came in and said, no, you could really get like $250,000, he'd be like, oh, we're going to die here.
Here's a really easy way to get realistic about how you should list if you're thinking about what is my house worth? A house is worth what someone paid for the similar house in that area in the last 180 days, preferably maybe 90. So let's take your house, Go and look at what has sold. Well, it's hard in New Mexico because the prices of what things sell for is not public, but the fact that it sold. So I guess you can't do your own CMA, but that's what we look at. That's what we look at because numbers don't lie. Your opinion doesn't matter. My opinion doesn't matter. What you spent on your house doesn't matter. Unfortunately, that's,
Right.
it's like, hello, don't overspend on the house. So, so those are the things we look at. We're just in the business to look at the facts, right? Even though it's so emotional, because see, if we find out the facts and we can lean into the numbers and say, okay, here's where we are real. You have to get realistic. You have to be realistic. Real estate requires patience. If those numbers don't match with what you want, then you have to pay. I know patience. I know. It's hard, So knowledge is power in
Yes.
no matter in life. Do your due diligence. Just like when people go buy a car now, I actually come from the car business. That's what I grew up around. Before the interwebs where we could, research the house down on it. Now, when you go buy a car, you already know. Look up Kelly Blue Book, blah, blah. You can do the same to learn about values in the areas that you live or areas that you're interested in. This information is out there. Now, how you parse it, how you take it in, what it means, I don't know. No one really knows.
Okay, that leads me to the Zillow question.
Okay.
I'm seeing so when these houses around us go up for sale, I go immediately jump on used to jump on Zillow and to see what's it going to sell for that. And I'm seeing like there are houses that are specifically not being put on Zillow. Like the people selling it don't want it on there because Zillow doesn't give you a real number. Is that true? I mean,
okay, so Zillow.
I know we don't want to slam Zillow, but you know what I mean? Like that's where people, it became, ubiquitous for finding that information out. Is it real?
The information that is put into Zillow comes from the MLSs. That's how Zillow, redfinhomes.com, realtor.com, they're fed by the MLSs. Okay. But within each individual one, they each have their superpower or their interface. They're all trying to tell you the same thing. Here's everything you can know as a public person without being a member of the MLS. Right now, I can send you on your phone my app through the Santa Fe Association of Realtors MLS, and you will have the MLS app on your phone. And the only information that you can't see about a property would be an uploaded document that's been uploaded by the listing broker, which means that you can see everything I can see, tax history, all this stuff before you even were to need me, right? So honestly, my buyers right now have this app. They favorite, homes, and I see it. And then we communicate, right? I do a lot of texting with my clients. It's quick, it's efficient. And having that on your phone is important. And I think it's important for people to understand that we know just a little bit more than you can find out, but we also know how to go and get more public information. Go to tax records, go to apps. I have an app called Land Glide. I can find out the name of any owner of any property and where the boundaries are, basically, kind of. New Mexico is a little bit slow at updating public records and stuff like that.
No.
But I know. It's because they use these weird things called index cards, and then they put them in a. Honestly, I really think some of the counties have paper records. I'm not sure. I can't prove it, but no.
And Bubba's got them in his back pocket sometimes too.
For sure. Someone, it's.
I'm gonna look that one up for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is such an interesting place. And, because I didn't do real estate in Texas, and so this is my, only venture into it. So I can only speak to how it's done here and the brokers and my experiences so far. It's, we do a lot of training. We hear a lot of news. A lot of things are fed to us, about we're supposed to keep up with all this stuff. But I'm going to be real honest with you. I can't. I do not watch the news. Okay. I can't, I get news other ways. I don't know how it comes. If I need to know it, I'll know it. But my news usually is right in front of me with what task I have. I
Mhm.
have 7 listings. I have 7 LGBTQ families depending on me to sell their properties. As we know, this week, it for some of those became more important, right? Not necessarily it for their own reasons, right?
Mhm.
And then my buyers, that list of 6, I would say this week has gone up to at least 4 or more. And these are people who are fearful right now.
Mhm.
Right.
And my conversation is one of empathy
Mhm. Right.
and just saying, "Hey, I'm here to literally hold your hand while we discover things together and to help you understand your superpowers." And that might be, what is your buying power? What
Mhm.
is, so that it's like a puzzle right now. And it's a heart job for me.
Mhm. What's your favorite thing about what you do?
I think 2 things right now. I think my job is allowing me to get to know this beautiful state. I get to drive all over it. I have listings all over. My office is in Santa Fe, but I live in Placitas. I work also in Greater Albuquerque. I have a listing in Jimenez Springs. I have listings in Pecos. I'm living my best life because mental health for me is nature.
Mhm.
And this
Mm.
job is a big job. And it involves actually a lot of paperwork and things people don't see, a lot of computer work, a lot of FaceTime on my phone all the time. So my mental health is getting out and knowing areas. Like, I'm not from here. So I got a listing in Jimenez Springs. I got to know it. I went to the historic site. I listened to the story of the people
Mm.
who, in my mind, still own this land, right? Because I talk about land here in New Mexico as you're going to get a piece of paper that says you own it, but you don't. Learn about the Pueblos, learn about, but
Mhm.
you do. Y'all know what I'm saying. It's like, as a person, an outsider coming here
Mhm.
and learning more about the stories. They're not happy stories, y'all know.
Mhm.
Extreme Christianism, or, if you really get into the history. So that's important to me. I love that. I love that I know these stories now.
Mhm. Right.
And you tell
Right.
Mhm.
people. If
And
you
you learn neighborhoods and
Yeah.
different areas and yeah. Mm.
Just like Placitas. Do you know the story? You know the story of Placitas, right? It started up around geodesic homes so that's interesting. I love it.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm sitting here, and this is what I have. New Mexico's magnificent Sandia Mountain.
Oh, great. I love that.
Because we live here near this mountain. And I also want people to know your money can go farther south of Santa Fe. It's just real.
Right. Right. Yep.
Yeah.
So learn it, know it, and know that, as far as that's what we actually bought in Placitas before we even understood how cool Albuquerque is.
Mhm.
And so I'm just here to say, hey, this place is great. Learn about it. If it fits you, come on, let's find something.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. What are your biggest challenges? Do you have any?
Uh Gosh, that's a deep question, Pam. You mean personally or profession? Okay. I think in my okay, this is the real truth.
Yeah.
Work-life balance.
Yes.
Work-life balance right now. You know me, we've had dinner, we know each other. When I'm zooming up to meet socially and coming to dinner after being somewhere, that's hard. And it's hard not to come home and want to tell my wife everything about all the things. And she doesn't, it's just like, can one of us suffer through it, not the other, maybe? So, you know, it's every one of my clients has a story.
Mhm.
And it's an
Right.
important story to me. And I'm an empath,
Mhm.
right?
Mm.
So these are my challenges: to take care of myself mentally,
Okay.
boundaries,
Mhm.
boundaries. And but I'm having a realization that I can ask for help. That's hard for me, so I'll probably be doing that in 2025. Yeah. Getting some assistance, please.
Uh-huh. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and everybody, particularly women, I think, struggle with that
Mhm.
work-life balance because we always have a lot going on, right?
Always.
Yeah.
And I think, it depends on the culture of the brokerage that you're with as well. I have a lot of freedom. I'm on a team. I'm with Berkshire Hathaway. They train me, they provide certain things, but I'm in a niche area. I'm a niche
Mhm.
person in a niche area. And so I'm kind of, teaching it to myself or blazing a trail of how things are to be done from this point forward. And
Mhm.
also when I'm getting a lot of reach out from the LGBTQ community saying, hey, you're a safe person. And this is
Right.
not just buyers reaching out to me this week. I can tell you this week I've talked to more brokers in other states that are really, really struggling.
Mm, really?
Hmm.
Yes. And
We
these are also blue states
Mhm.
and
All 6 of
people.
them. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. And the interesting conversation I had today was the amount of people who are moving out of the country, like, now.
Mm, mhm.
Like, two a broker I talked to in Washington State has, clients moving to Portugal. I mean, this is people are making decisions real quick right now, some people. I think the power is in not reacting right now.
Correct. Yeah, I agree. Mhm.
There's power in the pause.
Mhm.
There's power in gathering more knowledge about how the path can be paved for more people than just a few,
Mhm.
you know? And I feel like, for me, my office is in downtown Santa Fe. Median house price in Santa Fe is 1.4. Okay. Albuquerque is, I think, 450, probably somewhere around that.
Mhm.
How can we make housing affordable for people?
Right.
Realtors are part of helping in that.
Mhm.
Really? So, okay, speak more about that. How are realtors helpful in that?
Well, I mean, this won't be popular for some people who watch this probably. However, I will say it anyway. Um, a lot of times in transactions, our commissions might be the reason a person barely could afford it or maybe couldn't.
Mm.
Or maybe someone, and I know this commission thing and it's a big conversation and, I'm just giving my own personal feelings about it.
Mhm.
Is that we could make some adjustments there to how we value what we do, and we could find a way to be more helpful to help more people be housed.
Mhm.
Feel like the unhoused should be helped by our industry. We should be on the front lines of helping. And I don't know, maybe we are in some places, but I can tell you that in Santa Fe, my office is on East Marcy,
Mhm.
and I park in a parking garage there, and the homeless are there. They're all around, right? I come from Austin where I saw this fire up, and I see the same thing in Santa Fe. It's a slow tick, and it's like, well, what's happening? And eventually in Austin, it took private money. And I feel like it might take that here, and realtors, we know the perception is that we all make so much money. Some realtors do make a lot of money, and some thrive very much. And I think we need to look at this industry and say, how can we give right out of our pocket?
Wow.
How,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, my personal.
Mhm.
That's my personal feeling.
Mhm.
I hope this feeling can build. I hope there are other people who will come into this mindset to say, how if we feel so overwhelmed that we think these commissions are in line with what the work we're doing, do we think that? I'm asking us to look at it.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
I'm not mad at those of us who are new saying, there's probably a new way,
Ah.
you
Uh-huh.
know.
Right.
Um,
Interesting.
Yeah,
No,
there's
yeah,
a lot of
that's
shakeup I think you're gonna see a lot of opposing views within the real estate industry. We need this. We need to fight about it. We need to giddy and we need to work it out and say, how can we benefit the greater good? Stop all the greed and worrying about that you might have to negotiate your commission that you just have been sitting around collecting.
Mhm.
And
Wow.
that's not a popular opinion, but through COVID, I wasn't in real estate. But what I hear is there's just this whole bunch of clicking and this and that and property selling. That's not how it is now. It's not that same way. This job takes a lot of effort. But I think if we can say, hey, as an industry, let's take it down a notch.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
3% of $1 million house and 2% of $1 million house and 1% of selling $1 million house is still a lot of money.
Yes, right. Mhm.
Okay.
Right. I love that you're starting that conversation, Tammy. I think that's
It's very
great.
uncomfortable conversation and people are not liking it.
I imagine so.
I like the
Yep.
idea of finding a new way, you know, but at least being open to
Having a
think that yeah, about maybe there is a better way or a different way or a new way to do things.
Yeah, yeah.
I believe that this industry, much like, you know, if you remember back in the car business, when the car business went under and tanked, they had to rise and come up a new day and figure out a new way to do it.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that when you go to a car dealership now, my nephew works at a Chevy dealership. If you walk into one now, you know, you're going to do some negotiating. That's still there a little bit, but nothing like it was. Salespeople are not making the money they were making hand over fist back in the 80s. Come on. I was there. My family owned a Ford dealership.
Mhm.
I know. So seeing how that changed, I
Mhm.
think empowered people to do their due diligence, be knowledgeable when they buy a vehicle. Salespeople make probably good money at a car dealership, but it's not happening the way it used to. Real estate is going to go through that. Some people won't like it and some will. If you've been in for 20 years right now, you don't want it to change because you don't like change.
Right. Right.
Right? I'm talking to people,
Right.
honestly,
Have a
it's
hard time with change.
yeah, and I'm talking to people who are 5 years or less in the industry, and we're all talking about the new way to go, the apps, the texting, the more efficiency. If we get more efficient, then we won't expect that our job took us that long to make that, right? I
Right.
mean,
Right.
Right.
can we collectively be humanitarians and say, let's change it for the
Right.
greater good?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Wow.
believe in it.
I
You're going
love
to hear more of that conversation, I hope.
that. And now you have an open house or you have something going on this weekend, right?
I've had the last couple weekends, I've had open houses, and this weekend I'm going to be doing open house or tour, broker tours, or whoever shows up is going to get to tour my properties that I have for sale up in Pecos.
Mhm.
So there's a community up in Pecos. It's a gated community. It's largely LGBTQ plus and allies. It's a development that it's, I think, 140 acres was bought. Lots were split. Um, houses were built. Mainly retired people have been living there for the last, I would say, 15 years ish. And now there's a new interest in that area and people wanting to come up, buy lots, build. There's 3 active builds going on up there right now. And some friends of mine from Texas just moved into their house this summer. It's a mountain home. It's 30 minutes from Santa Fe. Let me say this, it's 27 minutes from Trader Joe's. It's 28 minutes from Whole Foods. It's 32 minutes from Santa Fe Opera. It's all the things that, you know, the LGBT community asked me about proximity.
Right.
So it's basically peaceful mountain living where you're in proximity to Santa Fe, and also you're surrounded by the Santa Fe National Forest.
Mhm.
You're
Yeah.
in a gated community, established community, safe community, all about community. So it's a special place up in the Pecos, near the Pecos River, and in those mountains are just, you know, people come from all over the country to see that beauty.
Yeah, it is
So to
beautiful.
be able to own a little piece of it. The lots are like 65,000 all the way up to 233. And I'm going to be up there just walking people through the lots. Some of the lots have meadow mountain views. Some of them are wooded views. Some of them already have, uh, the electric pulled to the lot line. There's a builder list in this community. So it's a very, it's got an HOA. So you have to be down with wanting an HOA because, HOAs are important to keep.
Mhm.
I see your face. I see your face. I
Yeah.
should say this as a disclaimer. HOAs are important to communities to take care of certain things. And
Uh,
we know that New Mexico has so many of them. And but in certain areas like this particular community, they take care of the roads and they take care of each other as well.
mhm.
So it's called Birds of a Feather. And I have a website, liveinbirdsofafeather.com, and you can see the lots and the beautiful, just breathtaking gorgeousness. If you're into pine trees, this is
So if you go to Santa Fe, New Mexico Realtor.com,
Mhm.
you have this really cool animation with a little hummingbird fluttering around the birds of a feather. So you can't miss it. It's really cool. I went and looked at it. It's pretty cool.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Mm.
It's a special place for sure. My wife and I own a lot there. We were going to build, but our kid is overseas in college. So we now live in Placitas, closer to an airport. But Placitas is a cool place too, even though I don't have a listing there.
It is. It's beautiful. We love to see this.
First time I drove through Placitas, I was coming to see Pam, and I was like drive down the main road, coming into Placitas, and there's a horse on the side of the road, and I thought, oh, somebody lost their horse, right? And went a little farther, another horse on the side of the road. It's like there's a problem here, and so I'm telling Pam, there are horses on the road down there, and she's like, yeah, they walk around they're all over the place here. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Because my head went to, oh, there's a pissed off cowboy somewhere because his horse is on Main Street.
Before, right as we moved here, we've been here a little over a year, or year and a half. We saw the horses, but now, Pam, I don't even know where to go up and see them. But we should tell people Placitas has a herd of wild horses.
Yeah.
It's magical. It's like we're living here in the foothills of the Sandia, and you drive up on these magnificent horses. Like there's one that's charcoal gray, and it literally stuck its head in our car one time. And I thought, is this real?
Yeah.
I
Right.
love it here so much.
Yeah. Yeah. It is wonderful to see.
Yeah.
It is wonderful to see them. And there are certain areas that you can drive to where they congregate more because people are feeding them back in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's quite
Or you
lovely.
walk around Pam's house and you find the piles of poop and you go, oh, well, they've been here.
Oh,
Here.
wait, do they come in your yard?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, you're up where they are. Now I know. Well, where are you?
Probably checking out the
I'm
pool.
coming
Right?
to see them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Water.
So,
All
Tammy,
right.
thank you so much for being a guest on the podcast.
I'm going to throw this back up here. Santa Fe, New Mexico Realtor.com. Brilliant. By the way, really long to say, but easy to remember.
To say that when somebody's typing in, hey, I need a realtor in Santa Fe, New Mexico, then you're like, damn, here I am right there.
Brilliant.
Look at her. She's like, she knows how to make that one.
I barely did. I thought, why my brain doesn't know how to do that right now? Thank you so much for wanting to ask me questions.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for answering.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Everybody, thanks so much for listening. Again, Tammy, thank you. Erica, thank you. This has been filmed in front of an audience of 3. So thanks so much for joining us.